that make a point of being seen by me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went away for a year. When we came back, I was out on our deck and I started getting dive bombed by a hummingbird. And then I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So I ran in, got the feeder, and put it out. They were as happy as can be.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some friends in this neighborhood that are winter residents from Chicago. And they had a nest in their back porch last year, and they were worried that when they were gone for the summer, the birds would forget about them. And it happened just like that. They showed up, they put the feeders up, and they really do believe that the babies that were born there know them.
Yeah.
And I believe that because hummingbirds live a very precarious existence.
Sure.
So anybody that helps them is a friend for life.
How long does a hummingbird live?
About 9 years, max. Their metabolisms are so high, they have strokes and heart attacks.
So I have a hummingbird nest outside my front door.
Good.
He's building his nest.
Great.
What is he using?
They use twigs, they use sisal, they use fur and fluffy stuff they find. They shred the palm fronds to get fiber. And the last thing they do is they wrap the nest with spider webs.
So should we leave them anything outside the front door to use? Feather or something?
That ball up there,
Yeah.
that's sisal.
Yeah.
And it's holding alpaca wool. And they love that.
And that's some nest material for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to think that I was being cool to put like the human hair from my combs and brushes out for them, but human hair has too much tensile strength, and they can get tangled, and they can starve to death in a couple of hours. Well, they treat the feeders like they treat the plants, because you got to try them all. And they're just like bar regulars, in that each one of them has a favorite feeder and a favorite place at that favorite feeder. Yeah, that's exactly it.
And this is straight sugar water?
Yeah. Yeah. During the winter and during migration, I use 1/3 of a cup sugar to 1 cup water. And in the summer, I take down a lot of feeders and cut the nectar back to 1/4 cup, because the population will drop off a lot.
In the migration, where are they going to?
Well, it depends. The costas and the black-chins migrate more by changing elevation. They fly up the mountains and do that instead of going elsewhere. The black-chins stay here for the summer. But the broadtails, they'll be leaving first. And they go to the Sierras, and then they go over to the Rockies, and they follow the mountains up to Canada. And then we have the rufous, which migrates from Oaxaca to Alaska. Yeah, that's 8,000 miles.
It's just beyond comprehension.
That's a long way, little bird.
Yeah, and they fly alone. They don't group up.
They don't.
No. No, they're highly individualistic.
Oh, really?
I mean, there's nothing new.
Like this guy
whatever
hovers
it is,
like
but
in my
I
nose
just something
first.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little splat. I was assuming it was a splash from maybe not. Now that you mention
It's a Palm Springs baptism.
it. Yeah.
You've been close enough to a hummingbird that they pooped on you.
Yeah. okay.
Just a blast.
Perhaps you should.
And when I go out in the morning sometimes to have my breakfast, I can testify that hummingbird poop makes my Lucky Charms even more magically delicious.
Yum.
I'll have to remember
Is
that.
it a nice color?
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
We're back at almost dusk.
Yeah.
Do you want to come?
Would
I
you
was
like
going
my
to say
chair?
we
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
we
we
can
can-
rotate. We
It's
can
okay.
rotate.
It's all right. We're good right now.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, I'm okay for a while. Because I got, he took videos of me last time,
Yeah.
but I wanted to come back when it's dark.
Yeah.
Steve said a lot more to show.
Oh,
Ooh, oh, we got a competition here.
in about
I'll
Chase
get
that
along.
guy away.
in about 15 minutes, you won't believe.
I'm so excited.
I tend to not try and tell people about it because it's indescribable.
Yes.
I tell them there will be over 100 here.
Isn't that something? Well, they have to get their food for the night.
Yeah, they do.
How early do they come in the morning?
They come at the very first sliver of dawn, and that's the feeder they go
The
for
bees are very gentle here. You don't
because
have to
it's
worry about it.
illuminated by the porchful.
Here in my ear.
And that means they are flying blind. They can't see anything
they
else
see
but
the
where they're
light.
flying.
Oh, how famous.
Because at night they can't see in the darkness.
No radar, no.
No.
Hi. How you doing?
And
So
they see several spectrums of light beyond what we can get. They can see into the ultraviolets, they can see into the lavenders and the pinks, but they can't see it all without sunlight.
Do they sleep at night?
Yeah. They go into torpor, which is like a suspended animation. It's like an overnight hibernation. Their heartbeat slows, their respiration slow, their pancreas works to keep them
And
fed.
do they don't, so they don't keep moving?
No.
And do they rest on something?
Yeah, they like the trees. They like the pyracantha hedges.
Yes.
They love the almond tree because it's close to the food.
Oh, yes. I bet there are a lot of them up there.
Yeah. And the bougainvillea between the two hotels,
Yes.
there's probably close to 200 nests there right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Well, they love the bougainvillea because it's got tangled branches, it's got thorns, and it works like an early warning system when the predators come.
Yes.
During the day, if you walk past that, the mother birds will come out. Hey, what you doing?
Oh, they're so sweet.
so there's no territorial issues.
Yeah.
Do they sometimes get into little squabbles?
Oh, they get into big squabbles. I mean, they're hummingbirds, and they fight. That's why I have the feeders all along the outskirts,
Right.
and that's the instinctive drive they have to dominate a food source is powerful. When they go to a flower, they get like 1 or 2 clicks of the tongue, and then they have to wait for the flower to make more. And so they tend to stand by that flower, by that bush, and chase everybody else away. And that's what the outside feeders are for. And sometimes I've had them decide that they're going to own the hand feeder I'm holding, and they will defend that against all comers.
Oh.
So they're attracted to red, I take it.
Yes.
And then what about the yellow?
They're attracted to that too. Red, yellow, and blue brings them. And the brighter, the better.
Now, was that a male with that purple?
Yes.
The other day I was
The
on the
males
lawn.
always are so attractive. Females are.
Yeah.
The other day I was sitting on the lawn and my toenails are painted red. And there was one sort of checking out my toes.
Oh yeah. And And they check out the taillights on cars. I've had them fly up and check my Aloha shirts.
I guess I better get
One
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
sorry,
okay.
sorry.
One just buzzed by me, so gotta be ready.
Yeah. Let me get you a chair.
Okay. I can move it.
I used to have better furniture, but it kept getting stolen.
That's terrible.
Can you take a picture, Tom?
See which one should she take?
Yeah.
This one?
Like this.
You should send that to him.
There we go.
He would get a big kick out of it.
Yeah. And if you hold one of these up at eye level,
Yeah.
you can see their tongues working.
Oh my goodness.
And their tongues are pretty amazing. They split and they have bags, little pouches on the inside.
Oh, so they can get the juices.
So it splits, they scoop up a bucket, and when they pull their tongue back, it squirts the water out and they flick it back.
Oh my.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Now there's a bee up there.
Yeah.
Competition.
Just getting you a share. They,
Like sugar water too.
yeah,
Exactly.
the bees are using it to get home for the night. And the hummingbirds just work around them, and the bees work around the hummingbirds too. Because they understand it's a mutually assured destruction thing.
And they like the water too. The water's important.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Would they ever bathe in the water sort of like other birds do?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. During the migration, when they come in off the desert, they'll fly into the lower basin, submerge totally, and then fly up to here and fluff out to.
Oh,
Because clean birds fly faster.
Hello, sweetie.
yeah.
Hello.
Well, look at you,
So
double dipping. Huh?
good. So fun.
Can you see the tongue?
Wow, holy moly. That is fast.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, because it's clear. That's why you're looking at the clear part.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a little,
It-
like a high-speed drill in there going.
Uh huh.
you can see them
Wow.
taking in the liquid.
Wow.
Their wings, their heart, and their respiration are all synchronized at 80 cycles a second. Every cycle of their wing expands their rib cage and inflates their lungs and pushes the air out. And 80 seconds, 80 beats a second is their heartbeat also. Their blood moves so fast it works like a gyro. And that's how they stay stable in flight.
That's new information. Pretty cool.
I got a beautiful purple.
Try this here too fast.
Yeah, like a different flavor.
Oh my goodness, they're really cute.
Colors are spectacular.
I know. Yeah. With a little cloud cover, the iridescence really pops.
Come like this.
Yeah.
It looks so different when they stop flying. When they just sit.
And I've been seeing babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you recognize individuals?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are very individualistic. They have, they're coloring looks the same, but it's like fingerprints. It's in zebra stripes. Each one is different.
Oh, that one scared him. He was sitting on me.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Amazing. It's the air. So much air is being moved.
Yeah.
It's like a super duper mini fan.
Mm-hmm.
Very fun.
Yeah. For their size, they displace a huge amount of air.
And energy.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so nice that they're not afraid of us.
I've been doing this 8 years.
Oh.
And the hummingbirds in the Coachella Valley, they've started noticing they're starting to nest near human activity
Ah.
because,
Oh, because they can get food.
and so that people walking back and forth discourage the predators.
Ah.
Who are their predators?
Roadrunners, mockingbirds, blue jays, house cats, American kestrels.
Probably crows. Wouldn't crows go? No?
No,
No?
but the ravens will raid the nests,
Oh, dear.
but they have a hard time because the hummingbirds nest in tangled, thorny places, and while the big raven is trying to get to the nest, the hummingbird's flying like Luke Skywalker at the Death Star and going for their eyes.
Of course.
I've seen one little hummingbird drive off a full-sized roadrunner.
No way.
Way.
I love it.
Yeah. They're too fast. The roadrunner has no defense. And it's not really mentally equipped to deal with something attacking it. It's like, wait, I'm a roadrunner. Don't you understand?
You know, when I used to walk my dog, the crows would attack us.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for that at all.
Yeah.
Hope that. Well, I guess the
Yeah.
bees are good. Don't let him get on your finger.
The bees are really docile. Even if they climb on you, they
Oh,
won't hurt.
jeez.
You like this, Travis?
They're more interested in the sugar water than
Yeah.
their hand.
Steve, what kind did you say they are? What kind of hummers are they?
That's Acostas.
And-
And we have Annas, broadtails, black chins, and there's been a Rufus hanging out. Fire refugees.
So when did you become interested in hummingbirds?
8 years ago, I was really sick, and about the only thing I was capable of doing was to sit and watch one hummingbird feeder that a friend put up. And when I got better, I decided, boy, this is fun. In Palm Springs, it's really like Field of Dreams with hummingbirds.
Yeah.
If you build it, they will come.
I never thought about the tongue. I just thought the beak was pulling me up.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? You don't-
They just are learning about that kind of thing because hummingbirds cannot stand captivity or confinement. So they were kind of impossible to study until they could get out in the field with the equipment.
Have any of you watched that new show, The Americas?
Not yet.
It's wonderful.
Is
It'll
it
be a
good?
weekly show, and you see some. I learned some things I never heard of. There's one species of whales that the only thing they eat are dolphins. Now, who ever heard of that? And they show so many. Oh, it's fantastic. It's right after 60 Minutes.
That's on my finger. So delicate.
Yeah.
too, Nancy.
He must be swallowing when he lifts up and then kicks his feet. Did
When-
you get one yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pretty cool.
Good. I didn't want you to be left out.
I'm not left out.
Okay.
I'm enjoying myself.
Such
A little
a
bit
treat.
more every minute.
Yeah, it's just fantastic.
So you refill the feeders once a week, once a month, once a day?
Once a day.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Amazing
gone
how
through
much-
2 gallons so far today.
Wow.
So they don't feed all day,
Yeah.
not just.
They start at the first sliver of sunlight, and they pretty much eat every 15 minutes.
So how do we start making friends with the hummingbirds in our backyard?
Sit outside, dress like a flower, and be still.
And get some of these
And
little
get
things?
some of those, yeah.
Okay.
Well, they come to the feeders, though. You have feeders, right?
We don't, no. They feed on the flowers in our backyard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
If you were to sit by your flowers and hold one of those,
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain they would visit
Oh.
it.
Okay. And do a 50-50 mix in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And make sure you use
Will be
good old
50-50?
white sugar.
For the hand feeders,
Not
yeah.
the-
Oh.
I
A
was
cup
thinking I
sugar
should get
to 2
organic
cups water.
sugar.
Oh,
That's interesting.
right.
Thinking, and it's not, they want you to use just, is that correct? Use just plain old white processed sugar, right?
Yep.
Not anything fancy.
And
Nope.
then you boil it or just heat it or.
The water needs to be hot enough to dissolve the sugar, and that's all.
Oh.
And you said it's 50-50 to 1/4, 1/3.
In the big feeders, it's 1/3 cup to 1 cup water, and that'll be until the migration in the spring is over. And for the summer, the population reduces a lot. I'll only have a few costas and black chins. The black chins move here for breeding over the summer. It gets them out of the way of everybody else. But I'll take a lot of feeders down and I'll change the sugar to a 1/4 cup.
You want to visit the feeders out once in a while? Clean the feeders?
Yeah, all the
Sugar,
time.
just
All the time.
But with just water or soap and water?
Water, brushes, and soft cloths.
Okay.
So which flowers are they interested in here?
They love the yellow trumpet flowers, and they love the olive blossoms. We have some citrus trees back here that they just adore. They love lavender. They like different forms of the flowering sages. Pineapple sage is a big hit with them.
So sweet. Oh.
And they're starting to, it's getting ready to jump off.